Alright, welcome to class tonight. This is lesson 7.2, Organizing and Displaying Data. Alright, your objective for this class is you'll be learning how to organize data by making a frequency table and a line plot, and then you'll be finding the range. Now, there are two main ways to organize data. First, we're going to be making a frequency table. That's the first way. The second, you're going to be making what's called a line plot. Now, they actually have a lot in common, and they're both ways you can organize data. Finally, we will also be finding the range of a set of data. First of all, frequency table. Now, you'll notice this is on page 326 in your textbook, and I would strongly recommend that you would open up your textbook because this picture is, well, pretty bad, actually. So a frequency table is a table that lists each item in a data set with a number of times the item occurs. I know in third grade we did call this a tally chart. So the exact same thing, we use tallies to list the amount of times that an option was chosen. So on the picture you can see right here the choices. Okay, so in this case they used color. Next one you see the tallies right there. Now the tallies, that's how many times each was chosen. And then finally the frequency is an actual number, so all you do is take those tallies and make them into an actual number. Okay, so that's a frequency table. Very, very simple. Next, a line plot is a graph that shows the shape of a data set by stacking x's above each data value on a number line. Okay? Now you can use a number line like they did, and that's when the actual line plot is. I have not used a number line. I've used something different in my example that you'll see a little bit later. But that is, well, that's really neither here nor there. A real line plot does have a number line at the very bottom. I'll go and point this out. Okay, so the number line you see right there. Now, with these, you see x's stacked on top of each other, making a nice line out of each showing, representing how many times an option was chosen. Now with a line plot, I like it because you can almost make a little mountain range out of the values. Okay, and that's normal. That should be that way. Okay, so that is a line plot. Finally, we're going to be working on finding the range. Now, the range of a data set is the difference between the least and the greatest values. Simple as that. Now, remember, we use the word difference to subtract. Okay, the answer to the subtraction problem is the word difference. So we're talking about subtraction right there. Now, for example, in the following data set, you see that data set right there, 11 is the smallest value, and then 21 is the largest value. So to find the range in that data set, all you would simply do is subtract 21 minus 11. And so 10 would be the range. And that is all there is to finding the range. Alright, now let's get to my example here. And this is just what I made up. Okay, so these are all just completely made up choices. Alright, so for my frequency table, I did favorite cars. Okay, so my choices were these five brands, or these 5 makes of cars, or car makers. Now I want to point something out. You guys will be, tomorrow in class, you'll be making your own frequency table and line plot. And so you're going to be making. Now, with this right here, it is very, very wise to limit the number of choices. If you get too many choices for a particular question, it would be very, very confusing to follow. So my strong suggestion, and what I did is I chose 5 different car makers. Okay, and then I made an imaginary poll of how many people chose GMC, how many people chose Ford, Chevy, Honda, and then Toyota. Now you see right here all the major points of a frequency table. You see right here the choices, you see the tallies, and then finally you see the number of times each was chosen. Okay? Next, this is my example of a line plot. Now you will notice I used the exact same data as I used my frequency table. And that is okay. Not the best, but it is okay. You can do all the same things still. Now, with this line plot, you see once again my 5 choices down here with a line and then the x's stacked on top of each other. And therefore, you can see the number of times each one was chosen. Now, I want to point out right here, this is a good point for it. Now, you see right there. That is what I was talking about when I was saying you can make a mountain range out of it. That's what it would look like if I were to graph that and make an actual line graph. That's what it would look like. So these are strongly connected. Alright, finally, finding the range right here. Now you'll notice once again I'm using the exact same data as before, the favorite cars, and all I'm going to do to find the range, all I'm going to do is look for the greatest value, and in this data set, that would be Ford is going to be the greatest value, or the greatest data value, and then I'm looking for the least or the lowest value, and in this case, the answer would be Honda, because no one chose Honda. Now, in this, I would simply take my largest value and my smallest value, and then subtract. So I'm going to go 4 minus 0, and very simply 4 minus 0 is 4. And so the range of this set of data is going to be 4. And that is all you have to do to find the range of this data. Alright, and finally, now it is going to be your turn. Tomorrow in class, you will be creating your own frequency table and line plot. You'll be using the frequency table to make a line plot. Tomorrow, you need to come with ideas about what question you would like to ask the class. Now, a couple rules with this. Obviously, it must be appropriate, and make sure you're using my definition of appropriate. And if I don't think it's appropriate, you'll need to change it. Okay, so that's the first issue. Second issue is it must be something the entire class would have an opinion of. For example, favorite pets. Most students are going to have an idea about what their favorite pet is. Bad example. The games Spy Attack 1 and Spy Attack 2, which one was better? Well, not a lot of people have heard about those games, and so if you haven't heard about it, you're not going to have an opinion about it. Okay, so it must be something the entire class would have an opinion of. Now, with this actual video, what I'd like you to do is actually leave a comment about what your question would be. Okay, so this is what I was telling you in class. This is what your grade will cover. Okay, this is what I will grade you on if you do this or not. I want you to leave a comment on the bottom of this video. Leave a comment saying, and you'll probably need to type in your name, and then type in your name and then say what your question will be. I would like to look at those, get you a good idea about what your question will be. Okay, so respond to this video by giving me your question or what poll you would like to ask the class. Okay? If you do have any questions, please email me. That's going to be the best way you can contact with me tonight. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in class. Have a great night, guys.